What's going on, guys? It's Jay. Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing a long-term ownership review of my 2016 FZ-07. A couple things I have done to it. Windscreen, got some new blinkers, got some new bars on it. They're a little bit wider and a little bit lower than the stock ones. Full system exhaust, has a power commander in there right now from the previous owner. I'm thinking about getting it tuned just so I can, I don't know, I just feel like doing it myself, so I may do that, not really sure yet. It's got some frame sliders on it, and I have a cage in the mail right now. So that's everything I've done to it right there. Currently it has 15,250 miles on it. I got it used with 6,000, so the difference, whatever that number is, I've put on there myself. Now I use this bike almost 7 days a week. I use it for commuting as long as it's not like pouring down rain outside. And I work about 30 minutes away, so it's a pretty good little trek on the highway. That's why I got this right here. If I'm going to the gym or the store, you know, riding around town. So I've got a pretty good feel on how this bike is in different conditions. So let's talk about it. One of the best things about this bike right here. Woo! Sounds so nice. Alright. Can I get a wheelie in? Woo! There we go. That is definitely one thing this bike does great. So for those of you that do not know, power figures, right off the top of my head, I should be able to get it right. It is somewhere around like 70 to 75 horsepower, depending on like what you have done with it, tunes and etc., stuff like that. Torque wise, it's pushing around 50 foot-pounds. There's some more specific number in there, but just to give you an idea, it's around 50 foot-pounds. Suspension wise, it is not adjustable. It comes how it is. I don't know if they're upside down. I'm pretty sure they're not. All that spec stuff, you guys, if you want to know that, you can Google it. It's really not that hard to figure out. And this is a pretty bare bones bike, so all that fancy stuff, you're not going to get it on this. And if that's what you're looking for, this right off the bat, this probably isn't going to be the bike for you. It doesn't have that much technology, like, and when I say it doesn't have that much, like, it has a blinker and a horn and a light. Other than that, this model does not have ABS. It doesn't have traction control. It's just a bare bones motorcycle that feels good. Sounds good too. Alright, so how is this bike as a daily rider? I know I told y'all earlier how many miles I put on it, but lengthwise, I've had this bike for around a year. I love it, I'm not gonna lie. I've rode a few different kinds of bikes now. I've rode sport bikes, I've rode cruisers, I've rode naked bikes, obviously this one right here. And it is definitely one of my preferred motorcycles when it comes to doing stuff like that, you know. If you're going to work or you're going around town like I'm doing right now, just overall, in pretty much every condition, unless you're like sending it on the track, it's really comfortable. Jesus Christ, this road sucks. Upright position, bars are comfortable. Even the stock ones, you know, they're pretty comfortable. I just wanted these ones. The power is very, very usable. It is not like a 600 or, you know, any kind of inline 4 like that, where you really gotta like wring its neck to get some power out of it. I mean, from really low in the revs, you have power. It's always there, and that is one of my favorite things about this bike. Like, if you want it, it's there. Don't worry about that. When you start thinking about like commuting and stuff like that, the seat, I've said this in previous videos, the seat is definitely probably the worst part whenever you start thinking about going any kind of far distance, because the seating position, like the ergonomics of the bike, is really comfortable, and that's not gonna really wear you down as long as you have some kind of wind protection up here to keep the wind off your chest and whatnot. But the seat, once you probably get to around, like, I'll say anywhere over an hour, maybe like an hour and a half, somewhere around there, you're really gonna start to feel it. It's not painful by any means, but it is also by no means comfortable. So just be prepared for that. Size wise, to give you an idea of how I fit on the bike, I'm 5'8", 5'9" on a good day, depending on who I'm talking to. My knees, I mean, they're bent. Your knees are always going to be bent, but it's not like some extreme super sport angle. Pegs are relatively low. Seat's also not that bad. I want to say the seat's like 31 inches or something like that. So your little rider triangle thing you got going on is definitely very amenable. My visor was up. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, like I was saying, whenever you're commuting, it's not a bad bike at all. For in the city stuff, I know sport bikes, they tend to get pretty hot pretty quickly. Luckily, this thing has no plastic over the engine, so it's gonna warm up. It definitely will. Any bike's going to, but it's not gonna warm up like a super sport or any fully fared sport bike. And then once you start moving, obviously, it is going to cool down a lot faster than them also. What else can I say about the FZ-07? MPG. I know I normally get to the tank somewhere around 120-ish miles. Now that's not me running out of gas right there. That's me choosing to fill up. I normally fill up when there's about 1 bar left on the little thingy right there. That's just my personal preference. That's what I choose to do. So I could probably get it to like 140, 150 maybe, and that's really pushing it. That's with the bike all the way topped off and just riding very conservatively the whole time. Alright, another little cool thing on the little dashboard, if you will, down here. As you can see, you got your clock, your gas gauge, your freaking gas gauge. I love fuel gauges. I hate bikes that don't have fuel gauges on them. Like, it's 2021 right now, and they're still making bikes that do not have gas gauges. Yes, they make super sports for the track. Guess what? The companies know people ride these super sport bikes on the street. That is no secret, and they still don't put gas gauges on them. I don't know why, but they don't. So we'll go. I don't know. Got me all flustered. Anyways, gas gauge, engine temp, air temp. There's a few trips on there. Your MPG, like your average MPG. Then you have your current MPG at that exact moment. It's always changing. Tack at the bottom. I like how it's set up. I'm a big fan of analog tack, so this was definitely weird when I first came to it, but when you look at it, I like that it has it going across the whole bottom right there. I know the MT-09 and the FZ-09, they have like that really tiny one up there. I think it's stupid. I've sat on one before, you can barely see it, but this is a pretty good size right there. I've got pretty normal sized hands, and that's what it's like compared to mine. Pretty good size. Speed, gear indicator. They have a little eco thing that pops up right there, so if you're driving economically, it'll tell you, gives you a little reward. Alright, now I know I was kind of rambling right there a little bit, so just to kind of fire some stuff off quickly, catch y'all all up. What do I like about it? I think it looks phenomenal. I get a lot of compliments on it. I've never had anyone tell me like, oh, that bike looks weird or anything like that. I'm not really sure if anyone would actually say that to somebody, but no one has, and that's what matters. Love the looks. I think it looks great. The power takes off quick, stays quick. You can do great on the highway. I actually did a full highway review on this bike. If you want to check that out, go ahead and click the link up here. Drop the little card. Ergonomics, really comfortable. Sounds great. All around, cool bike. Would recommend it. Things I don't like. I hated getting hit by the wind as hard as I did. That's why I put that on there. You could kind of say power is also a negative on the bike, but that's only when you're comparing it to like 600s, 750s, you know, super sport type stuff like that. For what this bike is, I think it's fast when you compare it to like the Z650 or the, I haven't really seen too much stuff on the Trident, but like, you know, that 650 class, I think it does great. Sounds better than all of them, so whew, that's that. But you know, it just depends who you're talking to. The power could be a pro or a con. Other than that, on things I don't like, to be honest guys, I'm not gonna be able to give you anything. I love this bike. It's treated me great the whole time I've had it. Things I have had to do, I have had to swap the battery. I'm about to get a new tire back there right now. When I first got the tire changed, the person that put it on apparently just cross-threaded the living hell out of the axle nut back there, so I have to get a whole new axle assembly because he just ruined it. So that's cool. I'll be getting that done in a couple days. Other than that, anything I've changed, it's because I've wanted to change it. It hasn't broken down on me or done any crazy stuff like that. So reliability wise, I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up. It's solid. Now the big question, would I buy this bike again? I'm gonna say yes. I've actually entertained buying the XSR-700, which is like the retro cafe looking version of this bike. Everything's the exact same on it. And yeah, I decided not to, just because I thought it'd be kind of pointless to buy an XSR-700 when I already have this. And if I get something else, I want it to be at least a little different. But would I buy this bike again? 100%. Wouldn't even think twice about it. It's treated me great, and therefore, yeah, I would definitely get it again. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end this video right there. Moral of the story, if you couldn't gather from everything I was saying, I love this motorcycle. I have no intentions of getting rid of it anytime soon. It's here for the long haul. Especially now that I'm having to put some new parts on it. It's not going anywhere. 10 out of 10. She's a good old girl. But guys, if you liked what you saw, go ahead and drop a like on this video. Comment down below if you have any questions. I do respond to everybody. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I put content out at the minimum 2 times a week. Sometimes I go for 3, but at the bare minimum, there will always be 2 unless something crazy happens. Alright guys, and with that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace! Conservative.